Hey everybody, this is Jay Nando, San Antonio Metal Music Examiner here on the bowels of the AT&T Center. We are literally getting ready 20 minutes away here at the San Antonio Rampage hockey game. Adrenaline Mob performing a special one-off concert post-game here at the hockey game. And here are the guys from Adrenaline Mob, Mr. Russell Allen on vocals, Mike Orlando on guitars, and of course Austin native and bass player John Moyer.
I almost feel like San Antonio's my home. I come here so often.
How you guys doing? It's great to have you.
Great.
Well, like we said, it's a special one-off concert, so I mean, how did you guys get hooked up, first of all, to play this hockey game?
You know what? The number one thing, this is our second show together as a band.
Okay.
You know, the first band was in their backyard. We did it in New York, up on the East Coast, and I said to myself, well, the second show's got to be in Texas. And so, in my backyard, that's right. I want to make sure that you know, my peeps here, especially in the heavy metal capital of the world, San Antonio, got a taste of Adrenaline Mob right away. That was the impetus of it, and then in conjunction with that, I got a school here that I'm opening up called National Air Music School. We do it in Austin. We've been doing it in Austin for 20 years. I took over the school within the last year or so, and I always felt like this school was better made for San Antonio anyway, because there's rock and metal, you know, I think we can do a lot here.
Sure.
So I got with Ryan Snyder, who does the Spurs promotion team here, and I said, look, I want you to do a promotion with the school. Can we make something work? And then have a band headline. And he's like, yes. And I go, how about my band, Adrenaline Mob? And one thing just led to another. And I mean, for me, this is great because I'm here on two fronts. You know, I'm here promoting our summer music camp, which is June 4th through June 15th at Bandera Rose City Church. And in addition to that, I'm here with my boys in Adrenaline Mob, our new CD Omerta, which just came out 2 weeks ago. You know, pushing it and, you know, making a mark and trying to just keep metal alive, you know.
And I do want to ask you about the school a little bit more, but first let me touch on Omerta. Came out March 13th, and I believe it was last August you guys first released the EP of 5 songs before the full album, obviously to give your fans a taste of the new, you know, conjunction between you guys. Was there any more behind that thought process of releasing the EP so far in advance?
That was you just nailed it right on the head. We had an opportunity to go out with Godsmack, so we just decided that it was the best thing to do at the time. We wanted to go out and have something, you know, for people to hear while we were out, and you know, that's where we were at the time of the album, and we decided
just printed what we had.
Then we printed what we had, and we went out, and we did admirable with the EP. We did really well with it. I mean, considering it's an EP and stuff, and it got us going. And so that's really what happened.
And of course, as Adrenaline Mob announced that they were playing this post game or this hockey game here about a week or two ago, you announced it. But then earlier this week, the tour was also announced, a mini tour, as I talked to you earlier, Mike, about 8 to 10 days, I think.
Yeah, it's a warm-up to go over to Europe. We're going to go to the States for a couple of weeks, selected places, and then we're going to hit all the major festivals in Europe, the Gods and Metals, and the Grass Pops, that my buddy Russell have done before, and John.
But I think you're right. I think it's May 16th we are back here.
Back, I mean, how does San Antonio get so lucky that we're getting you guys twice in a month?
Because we love San Antonio.
We just love San Antonio, man. I could walk that river for days.
Oh,
days.
Yeah.
You know, I want to eat at every restaurant. You know, but my wife would kill it without it.
Well, as John mentioned, you know, before the game today, a couple of his school bands took part on the same stage where Adrenaline Mob is about to hit in about 15 minutes. The next day from San Antonio and Arisen from nearby New Braunfels, Texas. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I would think that the whole impetus behind the school, and maybe for you guys as well, is that this is the type of thing that never existed when you guys were kids. That you probably wish, you know, why doesn't something like this exist? Maybe I'm the one that needs to start it to instruct kids. Was that pretty much the basis behind this when you started it about 20 years ago?
Well, I've been teaching in the school for 12 years, so it was already a thing that was a living, breathing animal when I came along. And I fell in love with it. I'm like, this is great, you know. And even, it's been around for 20 years, but even in the 12 years that I've been teaching between Disturbed tours and Union Underground tours and stuff like that, I mean, even back in my first band, Soak, I would, you know, whenever I wasn't touring, I was teaching them. And we have a lot of students that are now professional musicians that are out there working country, metal, and rock. Singers, guitar players, bass players, and drummers that are out there hacking away. You know, they found their love in music at the school, and they kept going into it in adulthood. For me, I remember as a kid, one of the hardest things was finding a singer, or finding a drummer, or and that's what we do. We find the bands, we put them together, and we teach them how to play. We get professional musicians that come in. That's another side of it I like too, is that a lot of professional musicians, you know, they get between gigs sometimes, and the school kind of allows me to sort of help them make ends meet as well. So it's just what I can do in the music community. And then this year, I was able to take over as the owner of the school. The previous owner, she was getting tired of it. I think she had other things going on. And she always wanted me to take it over, and I told her never. But then I said, this year I was like, all right, you got it. So now it's mine, and I'm doing everything I can to make it grow. And I just thought San Antonio was just an obvious place to take it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned the clinic coming up in June, but is the school opening permanently here in town, or is that being...
I want that to happen. The summer camp, hopefully, will be a launching point for us to do year-round classes, year-round bands, year-round lessons, the whole thing. But, you know, I don't want to assume too much. You know, I'm just trying to get in and get people excited about the summer camp. And, you know, and that's a great thing, too, because the kids will show up, and then the kids that are excited about it and want to stay, man, we'll just get them to continue going year-round. And, you know, the school, we have bands they'll be there for 2 or 3 years. We got a band in Austin called the Aviators. They got 4 or 5 gigs this month alone. 2 in San Antonio and 3 in Austin. So our bands, when they get good, they get booked. And we have them working all the time. We're constantly working on new material, original songs, whatever level they're at next, we try to push them.
Cool. Well, we don't want to forget about Mike Portnoy, of course, the drummer for Adrenaline Mob, resting up in the dressing room. But obviously, you guys know Russell from Symphony X. You know John from Disturbed. Mike, let me ask you, I mean, when Adrenaline Mob, the concept, or when you were looking for musicians to form this band, of course, the word supergroup gets thrown out a lot.
Yeah.
And it's hard to avoid, and I'm sure you guys don't like that term. But
I love it.
I mean, when you guys, when the band was in its initial stages, and you gave the call to these guys, how did it come about that first of all, you all had time to do it, and second of all, just meshing everybody together?
It wasn't looking for guys. It was me and Russell, and we cultivated something and crafted it to a point where we thought it was perfect in our, crazy insane mind.
Yeah.
And then we got players.
Yeah, then we thought, okay,
it was totally different.
We should build a band. We wrote the whole album together, and then recorded. Well, we recorded, I guess. We had all the songs, pretty much done, and then we started looking for the guys to do it, and we didn't think it was going to turn out like this. We're really happy it did. I'm so happy. This guy's incredible. He's so sexy too. I mean, I just can't stop looking at him.
He makes me sweat standing.
I know. I'm sweating standing. I'm sweating all over the place. But this band formed because friends, really. I mean, I knew Mike Portnoy for a long time, and we toured together, of course, Symphony X and Dream Theater. And I brought him up, and Mo said, he's not in the stuff anymore, so let's go for it. He started saying, okay, we'll give him a shot. I don't think we were expecting Portnoy to take it on, right? I mean,
no, as a matter of fact, we had other musicians.
Guys.
We had everything in place to go, and then it was a matter of, Mike's available. I really think he would be perfect for this, and
we just didn't know if he wanted to do something like this, like so straightforward, so mainstream, active rock thing. Not a lot of people were expecting that I was going to do this, obviously, but I did a solo album before called Tom Solo, and me and Mike were working for years together on my second record, which we wrote everything together, and that was how we formed our writing partnership, if you want to call it that, our chemistry.
yeah, we crafted it.
Yeah, we must have wrote like 20 songs for that. And then we had like a thing. You get to a point when you work with somebody that, I know what he's thinking, he knows what I'm thinking. And then I say something, I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, yeah, that's it. Russ, you got it. And like, I don't know, I guess. That's it, that's the link. Like Tom's you finished my So anyway, that's us. We were buddies, and we started writing all this stuff. And he had all this material from the Adrenaline Junkies thing, that he was trying to get going, and which he should have brought it to me years earlier.
Well, no, because to be honest, he was a prog guy.
Yeah,
I'm not a prog guy.
And he didn't think I would want to do it, so it was funny because when he asked me, he's like, I got these songs, I don't know, and he played me some stuff, and I'm like, this is great.
I was very, hesitant to bring him into the fold.
But we got Portnoy. He's a friend of mine, and then the other two guys, Paul and Rich, when they joined the band, they were also two friends. And then, of course, when they left because they couldn't, do it, they were doing obviously they were having great success with Fozzy. We wish them all the best. And when they departed, we got lucky, and John just happened to have the timing thing was right for him. And so
I'll tell you,
Portnoy and him had known each other,
Mike's head
so
with
it was
that.
great.
Yeah, Portnoy and I toured on the Upward tour. He was an Avenged, and I was
Right.
Disturbed.
And I was there.
And yeah, and that was where his head was at. And he said when these guys sent him the stuff, not knowing that he wanted to do something out of prog, he was like, I'm looking at this. And of course, for me, this is the only kind of music I've ever played, is that, straight ahead, hard rock, metal, stuff, even in all my bands. So I didn't know what Mike was sending me either. He's like, he heard that I wanted to be, I was looking for a new project. He's like, I got this stuff. He sent it to me, and I'm like, man, I'm a Dream Theater fan, but I don't want to be in a Dream Theater band. I don't really think it's not my style. I don't think I would do it justice. And he sent me the stuff, and I'm like, what? Oh, I can do this.
Well, the final product is Omerta. If you don't have the record, go pick it up. We're going to let these guys get going. I know they got to get ready for a special show here, but I would be remiss. I know you hate the word hiatus, but give everybody an update on Disturbed. When, if any communication has been going on with the band, when could we expect you guys back on the scene?
Film at 11.
You know what? Right now, I'm in Adrenaline Mob, and that's my main gig. And I love those guys. I'm still friends with them. They gave us the blessing. They're completely cool with what I'm doing. And as far as what they're doing, no telling when we will form. There's no plans yet. So, I gotta stay busy.
All right. Absolutely. But there you have it. Thanks so much to the guys at the Adrenaline Mob. They got a show to go play. So for Russell, Mike, and John, Jay Nunn to San Antonio Metal Music
Keeping metal
Examiner.
alive. This man right here.
We'll see you next time.